All right, I am live. Evening chat. It is 6:34 in the PM Central Standard Time. Just waiting around. Feeling a little lonely today. Feeling kind of blue. No reason in particular. Wait till some people get in here. She never mentions the word addiction in certain company. Yeah, she'll tell you she's an orphan after you meet her family. Hello. One person in the room. Thought I'd come on a little later tonight. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of Ozzy Osbourne's death. Very important day for me. It is feeling kind of blue, kind of lonely. I don't know why. Just this is my social thing. You know, I always say something physical, something productive, something creative, something social. I mean, I was upstairs talking with my wife and son, but that's not really what I mean by social. I like to talk to somebody at least once a day that's not an immediate family member. So let me know who you are and where you're coming from. Hey, Sarah. How's summer treating you? It's been pretty hot here in St. Louis. Christy, hey, I think I remember you. How are you, bud? I'm hanging in there. I'm just feeling a little blue, a little bummed out today. Hey, there he is. Dude, sorry about the home run derby, but I think that's gonna be the highlight of the Cardinal season because they're losing right now 4-2 to the Diamondbacks of all things. Yeah, so I'm just feeling a little blue. My wife's upstairs watching TV, and I'll just come down here and say hello to the world. Thought about making a video today, but I'm like, I'll do live stream. It's a little funner, even if it's only 3 or 4 people show up. YouTube has been really not been very nice to me lately, as I've talked about before. The algorithms are all off. Like, you know, I used to get 800 to 1,000 views. Now I'm getting 100 to 200, which whatever. That's still a lot of people. I'm still happy, but it's frustrating. I mean, it wasn't the monetization so much. I just enjoy reaching more people. So yeah, holler at me. We got Christy, Sarah, and Mike from South Jersey. I'm trying to go on a little bit later today. I'm like, sometimes I think in the afternoon, I think maybe it's not as good at traffic in the evening. People are free. Yeah, so Ozzy Osbourne died 1 year ago yesterday. Anybody seen any good movies lately? I'm a movie guy. I actually just bought a 20-pack of the old Hammer horror movies from the 60s. Testing? What you mean? You're getting tests, or you're like really exercising and stuff? Sarah. Yep, I love the Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing one. We watched the Gorgon last night, which I'd never seen, which was pretty good. They're all restored and on Blu-ray, so it was like $45, but 20 movies for $45, considering they're all on Blu-ray. And I mean, they're not all going to be gems, but yeah. Anybody seen The Odyssey, or anybody planning to go see The Odyssey? There we go. I don't get out to the theater much, so I don't think I'll get out. That's a pretty long movie, but I'll see when it comes on HBO or whatever. So I finally got my album up on Bandcamp. I'm gonna make a video about it. Bandcamp is like you can download it for like. There you go. Yeah, but a lot of my older listeners or viewers don't have streaming or don't understand streaming. So yeah, it's Bandcamp.com. Jeremy Mack. I'll put up something. Um, but yeah, it's like $8 or something like that to download. But yeah, I actually had a guy from Canada, I believe, or no, yeah, I think from Canada saying he didn't have any streaming services and he wanted to know if he could get the album somewhere else. Mike, there's a store in St. Louis called the Record Exchange. It's got a lot of it's a old public library and it's full of all kinds of records, not new ones. Yep, yeah, Christy, that's right. You're Mike's wife. Um, and there's also a place called Vintage Vinyl, which has new vinyl. So there's some pretty good record stores in St. Louis. I just actually upgraded, or actually, I had a like an Audio Vox or some old head receiver from like the 70s or 60s. It finally fried out on me, so I went on and got a Kenwood receiver from the Record Exchange. It's almost overwhelming. Well, it is overwhelming. You go in, there's just CDs, tapes, records, receivers, speakers, you name it. So yeah, there's got to be some record stores in Jersey. I know the Secret Stash guys. They were talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but I guess it's in on Broad Street in Red Bank. I think so. It's in Red. I know. I'm pretty sure it's in Red Bank. Do you have Mike? Do you have a turntable? I've actually have three. Uh, I've got one down in my basement, just outside the door here, and then I've got one up in my bedroom, uh, and then I got one in my living room by my fireplace. So, anybody got any interesting stories? I've been doing my podcast with Michelle from she had the Slow Dancing with Parkinson's YouTube channel, and we do a podcast called You Said What, WHAAA question mark. It's not about Parkinson's per se, it's just about life. But I've been doing that with her, so I love podcasting. I've done it for years, and I'll just be honest with you. Some of my stuff might be offensive because I used to do kind of like the shock jock thing. But You Said was a little more mainstream, and I just love radio. Talk about it repeatedly. If you would have told me when I was a kid that I would be able to have an internet radio show, first of all, I've been like, what the hell's an internet? But then, yeah, I love radio, so that's what I've been trying to do lately. Got my friend Sam Wade, who's a musician who lives in Nashville, but I actually grew up in St. Louis. He's coming on. We're going to record on Saturday. Let's see. I made a little fire this morning. I had like a lot of like little branches and stuff from some of the storms. So me and my son. Oh yeah, that wildfire looked nasty. But so yeah, we got out and made a little fire, and it was cooler this morning. Like normally we wake up, it's like 80 degrees already. It was 66 degrees this morning when we woke up. So made a little fire, got out, trimmed some of the bushes. Yeah. And then I took the dog for a walk. Just feeling blah today. I don't know why. Just feeling lonely. I guess maybe listen to some of my old podcasts with my old friend Adam, who died like 10 years ago. It's really get to me. And you know, Kelly Osbourne, she posted this thing when her dad died. I'm paraphrasing here, but she said something along the lines of, I am not mourning my dad as much as I'm mourning the person I used to be before he died. It's like, yep, absolutely, Mike. But that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh yeah, you saw it was a really sweet thing. And I guess that's kind of how I feel about Parkinson's. I feel like I mourn not so much having Parkinson's, but I've had to kind of put to rest the guy I used to be. And sometimes listening back to my old tapes and stuff, it reminds me of the guy I used to be. Now, truth be told, I would never want to go back to those times because what I hear in the recordings is much different than what was actually going on. We were laughing down here when we were recording in this space right here. But I was pre-diagnosed, so I was miserable. I was drinking a lot of whiskey to kill the pain and just the malaise. I gained some weight. I wouldn't want to go back to that period. After I was diagnosed, of course, I had to take my Cinemet to work with me, and that was not fun. And I struggled mightily for 2 years, even though we're having fun down here. And I used to partake the little devil's lettuce on the advice of some doctors. Worked for a little bit, but I don't do it anymore. Even though now it's completely legal in Missouri, of course. Now that I can't do it, it's. But I just thought, yeah, that's a pretty. I love what Kelly wrote. She's like, she's like, yeah, you're right. I still wouldn't be that same guy because I just turned 50, and back when I was recording my other podcast, the Howard Sternish type one, I was in my mid to late 30s, and then of course I think Adam died on my 40th birthday, like a week before my 40th birthday. So I've changed a lot, and I listened back to myself, and I'm like, I don't know that I would want to be that guy again, but I enjoy visiting with him. But I was laying in bed this afternoon after my nap, and I was thinking to myself, if I could go back to one period in my life for a day, what would it be? Honestly, I don't know that I would want to go back to any of it. I would love to have my 18-year-old hairline back. I would love to have my 21-year-old body back. But the thing is, when we fight so hard in life, and when we look back, a lot of times we only remember the good parts. At least that's kind of how I remember. But if you actually put yourself back in those spaces, when I was 18, I was working at a plant nursery. I have major social anxiety. I was homeschooled, sheltered, didn't know what was going on. It was brutal. I had to help customers where I was literally terrified to even talk to them. And I wouldn't want to go back to that even with my 18-year-old hairline. And then I think back to my early 20s, I just got married. And when you first get married, there's a honeymoon, but there's a lot of makeup sex, which you got to fight to have the makeup. So I don't think I would want to go back to those early times. And then after I had some deeply personal stuff happen to me that really ripped my life apart in my mid 20s, and me and my wife had to up and move to a different move across the river to a different city to get away from some stuff that was going on. I wouldn't want to go back to that period. I guess if there's one period I really, really enjoyed, it was probably being in a band. But then I was working. I had to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'd work all night. I'd be in the band. I'd be in the bar all night. There was probably a window there of 6 months where I really was at my most happy. But then knowing what was going to happen, that I had this neighbor who called up all the clubs because she was psycho, and she said we were selling drugs out of our out in the back, and ruined a lot of our goodwill that we built up. And so, like people say, you meet the same people on the way down as you meet on the way up. And I learned that the hard way. So even though I had fun, I blew my voice out, and I really wouldn't want to relive that again, which was the beginning of my Parkinson's symptoms. And I guess although I feel lonely and my Parkinson's has progressed quite a bit, I'm still very happy in this current life. I do get lonely. I do really get lonely. I miss people. Even though I've seen a lot of people lately, it's just like I told my wife said, well, she said, Jeremy, you just saw a bunch of friends. I was like, yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't feel lonely today. I mean, sometimes I just need somebody to reach out and call me or text me or something, or email me. I mean, yeah, don't feel too sorry for me. I get friends, but this Parkinson's isolates you. It makes you feel like a shut-in. And like we were talking about, I've got some friends that are still not over COVID. COVID really did a number on them. And I remember at the time being like, COVID was like nothing for me, because that's my daily existence, is staying inside and not really going out and interacting much with people. Even just walk around the neighborhood, I'll wave at people, but I don't interact with them. It's just like, so that's kind of where I've been at now, right now. Like I mourn the guy that I used to be, but not really. I can't. It doesn't really, like Mike said. Um, I'm not. I wouldn't be that guy now anyway. I mean, friendships ebb and flow. I mean, me and my best friend Adam, who were friends for 25 years. We may have had a falling out, and it happened before. So yeah, I'm just feeling kind of melancholy, kind of out of it. I'm gonna watch. I'm trying to talk my wife into watching another Hammer horror film tonight. We watched uh, The Dark House and The Gorgon, so she may want to switch up. So we'll have to see what she wants to watch. But so, how you guys occupying your summer? I feel like I'm a natural born talker, but sometimes I feel like maybe I'm not the best listener. I think that might be in the collection, Mike. I don't know that there is a Frankenstein one in there, but I know Hammer made several different Frankenstein ones. I'll have to see. A little wiggly here. Yeah, I got to tell you, dyskinesia. It's not too bad, but I took a little extra just because I didn't want to run out in the middle of this live stream. I can't wait to see it. But I mean, I don't know if other people have this problem, but like sometimes my Cinemat lasts way longer than it normally does, and then it really goofs up my dose because, like for instance, I take a pill. It usually lasts me 2 hours. Well, it lasted like a half hour longer, so I was hesitant to take my next dose because I didn't want to have dyskinesia. Like right now, I'm a little more wiggly because I was actually due to take my dose a half hour ago, but it's like it's still running pretty hot, so I had to take some more. Let me see if I can sit on my feet. There we go. So that's happened. That happens more the more you're the more longer you've been on this. Yeah, the old age stuff is definitely part of it, as we all know. Like I told my wife, I've said this before. I said I feel like if I used to skateboard. I got a skateboard like just in the other room. I feel like I just want to grab the board and push. But I'm 50 and I got Parkinson's, so I'll probably hurt myself. I mean, I used to ride ramps and stuff, jump stairs and all that. It just California, but what? Yeah, was the weather beautiful there, Christy? I'm glad you guys are taking advantage of the opportunity to go and travel because you do it now because I mean whether through old age or Parkinson's you won't be able to at a certain point or it will be much more difficult. I've heard Michael J. Fox said he's lucky because he can just what do you say? He's like I can just pack up my life and would go with bring my Parkinson's with me with like because he's got money and I guess he can buy out more palm trees. Yeah, but yeah, it's like it's easy. I guess it's not easier for Michael J. Fox, but obviously he's got more money. Like in a plane, I can't be dyskinetic on a plane. Are you kidding me? Somebody sitting next to you with dyskinesia, try to explain to him getting on and off the plane. I just and I'm at the point of my disease where the medicine can wear off just like that, or it can kick in just like that too. So it's very unpredictable. If I had one place I would love to visit, I would love to visit UK or the or Ireland. Ireland, obviously McDonald being. No, apparently it's a Scottish name, but my dad said I was Irish. And then when I did the blood work, the DNA test, sure enough, I'm half Irish, quarter German, 10% French, 10% Polish, and then 3% Native American, which was a surprise. Not that it matters, and we're all just the same. I feel like. By the way, like my Purple Rain t-shirt, this is for Michelle. She's a big Prince fan. You know, I came to the Prince game a little late. I guess when I saw him on the VMAs or whatever with his butt cheeks hanging out of that little outfit, I was like, I don't know about this guy. I don't think I want to get into this. But then I realized he was a genius, and I actually dug his he's got an incredible voice. So anybody got? Oh wow, that's awesome! Yeah, that's a great album. So, oh, how about that? McDonald's your maiden name. Morning from Australia, mate. Long time lurker here. As a 43-year-old with PD, thanks for your videos and making me feel less isolated. Absolutely, dude. I was just telling everybody here I was feeling pretty isolated today. What time is it down under, mate? Big Steve Irwin fan here. Yeah, I was hoping to get on a little at a different time, maybe get some different people. Yep, that's right. Oh, it's 10 a.m. Okay, so it's the perfect time for you guys. Medicine's probably just kicking in. Yeah, I know I've got a lot of viewers in the UK, which is I guess it's like 6 or 8 hours off from us. So it's hard to hit their time zone. And the Red Bull. There you go. Are you a hockey fan? We got the St. Louis Blues here in St. Louis. Can't say I'm a huge hockey fan, but after they won the Stanley Cup, I started paying more attention to them. Just kind of like after the Rams won the Super Bowl. Of course, they moved, so screw the Rams. Anybody listen to any good music lately? I've been getting out. I had a Slayer record on the other day, but then I got out Prince "Sign of the Times." Great album, double album actually. At least the vinyl was double album. And then I've been listening to some David Bowie, Hunky Dory, and of course Ziggy Stardust. That David Bowie was another one that I guess that when I was younger I was turned off by his image, but I kind of got over that. I mean, once you turn like 40, you realize that everybody's just doing something for attention. Really got into some David Bowie lately. I've got 3 of his albums: Hunky Dory, Let's Dance, and Ziggy Stardust. I think David Bowie's the kind of guy like he does so many different things. Like usually somebody like a Bowie fan. I wondered about that, Mike. Like a Bowie fan may not like everything he's done because he does quite a weird. You know, I watched an interview with Keith Richards on Howard Stern. It was an amazing interview. By the way, you hear Howard Stern laid off a bunch of his employees and he went down to 1 day a week. And I don't know. When I was younger, I thought Howard was too crass because I was raised real Christian. I would hear it at work, but then I started to like get crass myself, and I kind of changed my opinion about some things. I've not heard that one. I have to listen to that on Spotify or get it on vinyl. But then by the time I thought Howard was funny, I mean, I don't think everything he does is funny. I think he was kind of obnoxious to some people. But now he's became the thing that he did that he bitched about. I actually heard him say on one of his shows. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. If you voted, I'm not going to say, but if you voted for XYZ, I hate you. Don't listen to me. Like, well, that's not a way to get people to listen to your show. Yeah, I just think he's been in the game too long. Gotta know when to get out. I mean, honestly, when he was younger, he was pretty obnoxious and rude. But even though I do have kind of a dirty sense of humor, I don't know. I have to go back and watch. I liked when he interviewed Ozzy, but some of his interviews just goes a little too far. I just gotta say. So yeah, my album's on Bandcamp. I'm gonna do like a proper video tomorrow. Like I said, it takes up so much storage space on my systems. These videos, so doing live stream, it doesn't record to my computer. It records to YouTube, so I can interact with people and not use up a bunch of memory space. And I do like getting questions and interacting. But by the way, anybody have any questions while I'm here? I'll be down here for another half hour. So my medicine's too too strong to get up at the moment. My legs will be all over the place. Ask me anything. Well, almost anything. Yeah, there's one of my skateboards right there. I never used that one. That's a reissue. Yeah, there's another one over there. Head Send, I'll look that up. I guess they're on Spotify? You know, it's funny. Hockey is supposedly the national sport of Canada. I've met so many Canadians who don't watch hockey. I'm like, wow, I guess stereotypes aren't always true. I do my friend GoPro goalie Uzi. He's a big Oilers fan, but David Gebhardt from Life with Parkinson's. He's not into hockey. Ben Barnett isn't into hockey. A couple other people I've talked to up in Canada too. Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm always surprised at how many viewers I have from Canada. When I look at the numbers, Canada is it's crazy. I mean, I get more interaction from Canada than I do from the United States. Head Send. I'll look it up on Spotify, bro. So what are your plans for this coming weekend? Anybody got any big plans? Here's something that happened. I got my 81 Lincoln fixed. The brakes were completely shot. Needed a new master cylinder, new rotors, new pads. I'm not even going to say how much it cost, but she's in mint condition, 28,000 miles. But I haven't been able to drive her for about 6 months because obviously no brakes. It's not a good idea. Wayne Gretzky played for the St. Louis Blues for like half a season or something at the end of his career. Yeah, so my 81 Lincoln is fixed. Oh no. It was I bought it when I retired from my grocery warehouse job. So I've had it about. Actually, I got it after my friend Adam died. So sorry, get a little wiggly here. No, it's 80. Her name is Helen. The reason I call her Helen is because it was the old lady. I'm assuming it was an old lady who bought it for her birthday, and it's got her like initials on the car. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a two-tone. It's a Bill Blass edition. If you look on my Facebook page, there's pictures. Like if you go into my photos, you'll see there's a bunch of pictures of it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful car. Maybe I shouldn't sit on my legs. Maybe that's the problem. The quest to get comfortable. You know, it's funny. I read Michael J. Fox said he was visiting this school years ago, and he said one of the little girls was like, "Can you please stop wiggling?" And he just laughed. I actually had one of my nephew. He was peeking through the door where he shouldn't have been. I was just kinetic, and I was standing up walking around. He goes, I heard a laugh. He goes, "Why are you dancing?" I was like, "Oh God, not dancing." But it's really funny to me. Like I'll have people that I don't know are watching, like my neighbors. Well, I've heard my neighbors say, "We saw your videos." Like, wow, uh-oh. And then I've had some of my nephews say they found my nephew said he said he found my YouTube channel, which is always crazy. So it just goes to show you never know who's out there watching. You never know. So watch what you say. Like my old podcast I used to do with my late friend Adam. We said some some stuff that we shouldn't have said, but it was like we just would record ourselves and laugh. We were trying to make each other laugh, which is what we did. But a lot of that material will not see the light of day because we sound like buttholes. But whatever, it's all fun and good. It's all good fun. Oh, nice. I tell you, Philly's got a nice stadium. What is it? It's not Petco Park. What's the Philly stadium? Never been down to the St. Louis Cardinals stadium. It's been there 20 years. But I've had Parkinson's for 13. Citizens Bank, yeah. Had Parkinson's for 13, but I was symptomatic before, so basically probably the whole time the stadium has been there, I've had some malaise hanging over me. That's one of the crazy things when you start to realize how long you've been sick. That's overwhelming because I remember on my 30th birthday, and I've told this story before, I had kidney stones, and lucky me. And I told my wife I've never felt good a day after 30. And she's like, "Oh, stop it!" But that's true. I've never really felt healthy after that, which tells me that I've basically been Parkinson's in some ways been chewing on me for at least 20 years, which is crazy. And I think probably the only thing that kept it at bay was being so active, skateboarding, and my job, and just playing in bands and doing podcasts and whatever to keep my brain occupied. I'm still very fortunate, though. I've talked before. I'm not a DBS guy. I don't want the focused ultrasound. I figure if they're going to cut my brain open or do anything, it's got to be disease modifying. I mean, things aren't. Things aren't always great. Like right now, I'm a little more disconnected than I would normally be. But like I said, I took a little extra to make sure that I would be on for the. Yeah, I mean, DBS is miracle for. I mean, like I said, Julie Albrighter, she's been a miracle case. David Sangster from the UK says it saved his life, but then you hear these horror stories, man, and I'm like, nope. Like it's kind of like the devil, I know this devil. I just can't see. I mean, I've been at it 13 and a half years. I mean, honestly, I think much longer. I don't think I'd even be a candidate for it. But I've made my peace with that. I mean, I have my moments where I'm dyskinetic or stiff or get stuck. But for the most part, I enjoy life except when I'm feeling lonely. Like, see now. Well, I'm telling you, Ben, don't just follow my advice. Mike, I know somebody. I don't know somebody, but I follow this. I think her name is Rika Janice. I could be pronouncing her name wrong. She just had the focused ultrasound, and at first she came on and she's all, it's amazing. But then she posted a video, I guess, earlier this week where she was like, it's not. Yeah, she's like, she said she's been struggling with depression and some other things. The steroids that when they took her off the steroids, she had a big crash. I guess if it was a matter of being able to live or not, like David Sangster, his Parkinson's, he told me progressed incredibly quickly. I think mine has been on the slower side, considering that I still take pretty much the same dose of cinnamon I took when I was first diagnosed. And I'm still able to walk when I'm off and do certain things when I'm off. Can still sing when I'm on, but I don't know. You Ben, you gotta know what your symptoms are and what they think they can help. It's not a cure, and I think that's what some people go into it thinking, that it'll only work for a little while. Yeah, I would say, Mike, just from like a younger man to one of my elders, desperation is never a good place to make a decision. If you're feeling like I've got no other choice, just think about it, because I mean, they're putting wires in your head, and focused ultrasound, they're actually killing or removing the dead cells in your brain. Irreversible stuff. And I think, I could be wrong, but I've heard it said, and I don't know if this is true or not, that once you've had the focused ultrasound, you're no longer a candidate for DBS. You have to double check that, but that's what I've heard. I could be wrong, but I mean, I know Michael J. Michael J. Fox had that surgery years ago because he had. Yeah, you're right. They can't turn off the DBS. They can't undo the focused ultrasound. Michael J. Fox, I guess when he was still an actor, he had him. I'd be butchering it if I tried to pronounce it, but he had part of his brain removed that that got rid of the tremor on his, I guess, on his right side. And then he said, like a month or two later, the tremor started on his left side. So it's like I think he said if he had to do it over again, he wouldn't have that surgery. I don't. Maybe that's why he couldn't have DBS. Yeah, I mean, Ben. I mean, it's true. I mean, I know what this devil does to me. I know I know. I'm going to get wiggly from time to time, and I'm going to be shaky from time to time. But I know I'm going to have good windows here and there. And I don't leave the house very much except for walks. But I'm fine with that. I've got a beautiful house. I've got all kinds of cool stuff here. People say I have the coolest toys. As you can see, I've got toys in here, Lord of the Rings. I've got just the coolest house, coolest basement. I got double handrails so I can get up and down when I need to. Yeah, so it's just and then I'm not. I know somebody that you guys would probably know. I'm not going to mention their name, but they had DBS and they actually started having dementia symptoms because the leads were put in the wrong way in the wrong location, and there was some brain bleeding. Holy hell! The brain. Two words that should never go together: brain bleeding. But that's a horror story. Not everybody. I mean, like I said, Julia Albrighter. I think it's Vino YOPD Vino in a Glass. She's on my Instagram. She's a different person now. She's like a miracle case study for me. But there's always those other people that, in fact, I'm not going to speak out of school here because these people have private lives, but there's another person I know of that whose spouse got DBS and it messed her up even worse. There were complications. Now, like they can barely speak. It's a lot of drool and it's rough. Yeah, I mean, a lot. Some people are able to, stop medication like the DBS is that successful. I mean, I've heard. Nice. Well, have a good day, Ben, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Yeah, I was approved for the DBS surgery, and my MDS. I think she was surprised that I didn't want to do it, but I just, I guess what I'm really afraid of is that after the surgery, I won't be the same. You know, and that scares the hell out of me more than Parkinson's. Is that it'll like change my speech, which is a risk. That's something that I've seen happen where your speech gets affected, where you start to slur and speed up your words. Not that can't happen on its own. I mean, Mike, I'm telling you, some people they say some people, the people that do it earlier have the sorry, I'm reading the chat here. Have like more functionality if they do it earlier, but that's up to you. I mean, I was not I didn't even get a pre-screening for it till I was already had it for like 11 years. So go figure. But one thing that people don't realize, and I think other parkies can be like this too, is they see something, they think that'll be me, or like I couldn't possibly live like that. But you don't see like, okay, I'm a little wiggly now, but later on I'll be fine. And honestly, it doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable, which I'm at this point I'm used to discomfort. All right, I've been on for 40 minutes. Let's say 5 more minutes. 45 more minutes because I need to go up and actually eat something. Think a little food will stop this dyskinesia from being so severe. I took my medicine on an empty stomach, which is always kind of iffy. Any last questions? Preguntas. Preguntas is Spanish for questions. That's getting hot. All right, I'm going to shut her down, folks. I'll wait till you get your link done, Mike. Just let me know if it connects. Excellent. All right, talk to you guys.